We'll have to hope. Oh, all right. We are here again on a Wednesday after a week.
Yeah. I think it's been a couple weeks, John, since we did a Wednesday.
Oh, it might be.
Yeah,
Hey, Puglets.
Hey, how you doing? All right. So
Yeah.
C sharp tonight.
It is C sharp. There is so last we were working on this project.
Yeah. So we're working on the mine claims, right? I feel like we were still in that realm of things.
Yeah. It was. I'm trying to bring up look at our Git history here to see. Oh yeah, so we had added the claims and we allowed we made it so that you could then use a claim as part of your the digger when you're replacing it.
Right. Now, were we able to save them yet? I feel like that was something maybe we had kind of not completed.
No, we hadn't gotten anywhere near that yet.
Yeah, okay. So we're not there.
We are not. Did it not start?
It looks like it started.
All right, there we go. All right, so we're in what do we have for getting the claims?
It's a claims office, I believe.
All right.
Yeah, and then is it listings? Claims listings?
It is.
Right. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so we can now get the claims. Right, so now, yeah, and then we can go 2 claims to get to them, and then if we go to the store, then we can buy a standard digger.
Right.
This is where and this is part of what we were adding, right? Because we made it so you could do equip, and so a name is required, so now we can enter a name.
Right.
And then we have to give it a claim ID. And so now then it gets that claim, right? So now it's...
And it's digging.
And it is digging. So I think part of the other piece of this, right? So we had the claims, but before we were kind of doing it where it was a random claim, right? Mm-hmm. And so we don't have anything, I believe, at the moment that we can do that with. So if I were to leave this here, that's a little weird.
Right, because we would kind of roll the claim up when it was time to equip the digger. That's how we handled it previously, and we may still want to do that, right? We were talking about that might be like kind of the beginner level.
I think that's definitely what we should do at the beginner level. I mean, it doesn't seem like you'd want to start off with that piece of it.
Right. Keep it simple in the beginning.
Yeah, I think that's generally a good idea.
Okay.
Hold on a second. I gotta bring up the task manager. Something's chewing.
Whoa. Skype.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what's actually at that 95%. Yeah, Skype is just... I could tell something was going on, because...
Extreme Labs is doing a... Actually...
Yeah, well, it's OBS 64, so it's OBS and Skype. Wow, why are they... Because OBS is Streamlabs, right? So...
Right. I don't know, man.
Something is kicking the butt out of. That is weird. It's never been that bad before.
Yeah, it's odd.
I wonder if it's this running that's causing it. Let's see if I stop the program.
Doesn't seem like it did much. Why is Skype so high?
I don't know. Just likes being a pain.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think it'll probably be okay, but I see the stream reporting errors. That's why I felt like I need to check it out. Something else I keep an eye on over here. That'd be great. All right. Yeah, so we got to put in, we got to look at the equip command, right? So we were doing a bunch of stuff with the equip command. We actually even added an equip scene so that we could do the prompting, right? So we could actually have it. Because what we wanted to do, and the reason we did it this way, is we wanted to do two things, right? We wanted to be able to take it and, let me get started back up. We wanted to be able to do it right from the command line as parameters, right?
Right, like in one shot. If you knew what you wanted to do, like right out of the gate.
Yep, and that was kind of the hope, right? Is we wanted to do that part. Let me try this. We'll just do 5.2, and then go to the store. Buy a standard digger. So now we can do equip, and we can say equip. We can say Sam, and then 1, which will then do it with a name. Actually, let me just do it real quick here. Let's do a claims. So we can see this has. Yeah, so that has an ID of 1, right? And if we look at our inventory, we got the standard digger. So now the equip, Sam, and then 1 being the claim.
All right.
And boom, now it does it all in one shot.
Perfect.
Wait.
Wait. What happened?
Did it do 2 Sams?
Did it do 2 just now? Like, all right, restart the game. Hang on.
Hold on a sec. No.
It did.
It did. It created 2 Sams. How did it create 2 Sams, Pete?
There must. We must. I don't know. I guess whatever logic we have for that, it must be satisfying both.
All right. So we had claims available set to true. Right.
Uh-huh.
This was our kind of quick test for if we wanted to have the achievement of being able to turn on claims, right? So that's why we added this Boolean here. But down here, claim available. Oh, I think I see the problem. So inside this if statement here, we don't have an end to the scene here. So we let it come out and it equips the second one.
Okay, so it was falling through and doing it again.
It's only because we had everything on there. We had not only the name,
right? Because it didn't need to go through any of that other logic, which would have helped us out. But since we skipped, okay, that's not too bad. All right.
No, so then we needed to do. Need to put this. Oh, it's because it's still running. I was like, all right, so that should resolve it. So it was a bummer today watching hoping to see the launch happen.
Yeah, ended up not happening, right?
No. the weather ended up not holding up.
Is
Oh,
that?
Florida.
Yeah, I was going to say they're launching out of Florida, right?
Yep.
So,
So now it'll be on Saturday at 3. So I'm hoping that'll be.
yeah, it was supposed to be stormy for like a week.
They kind of said that. Like that was kind of like their thing. They were just like, well, it is Florida. It's like you
Yeah.
don't know what you're gonna end up with. Oh, that's kind of weird. To purchase complete. We might have to change that wording on there because that's just weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
It looked like we were buying 2, which is why it was. Well, we do it here, right? So 1 standard digger, which I guess makes sense because that's actually 1 standard digger that you're buying, whereas that other one we were buying item ID number 2.
Right. So we should probably either use the name or put number sign to or something.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Control. I feel like we should come up with a way that all of this stuff that's happening can just kind of happen. So I don't have to keep typing it in every time. I feel like we're testing my ability to type.
Well, it's a text game, right? Like if we want that, we can have you click on rooms. I mean, we can shortcut everything. Like a lot of those old text games had it, so you only had to type a couple characters, or you only had to type like a number or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
we.
it's still equipped it twice.
Uh-oh. Hmm. So is there some other way to fall through there?
Well, now it's not even showing me any diggers. Nothing's working.
Oh, it's like broken.
Where the heck are we?
Yeah. Like why? Huh.
I don't know. I'm trying to. It's got to be in here.
Yeah, there's not errors coming out. It's just like dead.
Yeah. Oh. Huh.
Is that pop scene maybe not in the right place?
So, I forgot to add a return. So,
So it kept going.
yeah, so it kept going. So what it did this one, popped the scene, did another digger, then popped the scene again. And then we blew out of the stack. There was no scene left.
Right, because it actually blew us out of the top scene, which is
Yeah.
like the game, essentially, right? All right.
What
That
did
makes
it?
sense.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if it would have put us to the. I wonder if it would have put us to the. What do they call? What are we calling that? The
Like the
starting
lobby.
room. Yeah, the lobby. There we go. You know what? It was funny. I was imagining the Matrix with the loading program.
Where they were like gathering up all the weapons and the equipment and everything. That one?
Yeah.
Where the
Yeah, where it's all white and it's just like
yeah.
the one of the women I work with, her room, I guess that she's in, she just has white walls in there and it's kind of bright. So whenever she like gets into like a Skype call, it's just bright white behind her, and I'm like, it's like you're in the Matrix loading program, like every time.
I am the architect.
Oh man, I was like, that is too much. I liked I liked that. I just thought that was so funny. All right, let's see if we can actually now get this to work. Oh, I didn't mean to leave that breakpoint there. I'll come in here. All right, good. So now we just got a simple one. The only thing that's weird, right? That it says it's equipped on, but it didn't use the claim that we had bought.
Like it didn't expend it?
Well, So we got a normal hard. This just says equipped on
Oh,
scarce soft.
so it didn't use it.
Yeah, it didn't even use the right one. Even though,
Uh,
so here it gets this thing. Now this is if it's in use, which it's not. So it comes down here. It should have gotten the build site and assigned it to the digger.
so what's happening in build site?
I don't know. Wait a minute, this is still random. Hold on a second. Oh, I copied.
Okay, that makes sense. It's just the debugging process.
Because so the here right. So this says if claims available. This is coming into here. Yeah, because here we wanted to use it because we're creating a claim basically on the fly in this case.
Right. But we want to use the site that we're pulling out of the inventory up here.
Right. So we actually want to use. So that claim lease should have. Oh, that was too much. Just claim? Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Oh, I'm still running.
Need a paren too, I think. But
I do. This should hopefully do the trick.
Yeah, because a claim is actually what pops out of that build site anyway, right? So.
Yes, that's ultimately what's going on there. Yeah, I feel like this is. Let me see something. So this is the reason this is happening is because in the starting, right, we're actually taking a look at all the parameters that are coming in. Yeah, and see up here we're actually doing it properly if they're asked for the claim. That's why we didn't notice it because we weren't doing it from all one line.
Yeah, we were doing the prompt. Well, actually, working on that prompt was kind of what we were doing for a lot of last time to get that scene in there that allowed us to do that.
Yeah.
So.
Store. We'll buy a couple of diggers.
Now we're playing the game.
I know, right? But I still only have one claim, so it doesn't even.
Yeah, right. Because did we take out the part where you could just do a random?
Do a random.
Yeah, the random digger because
So we have a choice. It's either
set.
or, right? Either you don't need claims or you need to have claims.
Right, that was that Boolean that we have set.
Yeah. So right now it's hard coded to require them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, we're getting there. This is.
Yeah.
So now at least it's just one.
And it's the one, right?
Right, and it's the
normal
one.
hard, yeah.
Yeah, so we were talking about the fact we should put something in here, whether it's in use or not.
Yeah, right. Because we were also talking about that whole concept of having to pay like the lease on it and everything. Like that's a whole nother aspect of this too.
Yes, yeah, like the regular paying cycle.
Mm-hmm.
What I think I want to do the claim, but so we did that right in the in the root one. There we go, top. This way you can get to it from anywhere for the claims office. Oh, we'll just do this. We'll say in use. We'll add that to our column, and then we'll add one more here. So we'll say if it's in use, we'll just do an X. Otherwise, we'll just leave it empty. Excuse me.
Cool. Right. So now, okay.
What?
I was just, did we set that? Did we set the in use? We did that?
Yes, because we had
Okay.
so that we couldn't use it twice, right?
Right. Right. So we did do it. We just need to reflect it now. Okay.
It looked like it. All right, so we have that there. Then we do. So we can see it's not in use. Let me do. I want to do that too. So then we can see the 2 there. So now I can go to the store and buy 2 standard diggers. We can go to the control room. Now we can equip them. All right, we got our 1, so we got claims. Now we can see that it's in use.
Nice.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I were to try to equip that again. Yep.
Claim is already in use. Excellent.
Nice. All right, so I think that has been fixed. Let's just check that in. Are not equipping. Oops, there we go. All right. So what are we doing next? All right. So now we got the diggers happening. I guess we need to. It'd be interesting to try to figure out how to.
There was a second there I wasn't able to hear you, John.
Oh. I was thinking about the saving and like what we want to do with that. Either the saving we could address. You've gotten real small again. Squishing.
Yeah, well, something got weird for a second, so.
Yeah, I don't know if it might be me because my CPU is just freaking blowing up.
Yeah, the problems I normally have are not occurring tonight. My connection's good. I'm clean.
Yeah. No. Let me just close you. No, I definitely don't want to do that. I guess I can't close it. Doesn't really matter. I don't know. I probably should have. I don't know if I rebooted before getting started. I'm wondering if this is. I wonder if it's related to that. So I was saying, like, I'm not sure what we should do next, right? I know you were mentioning about the saving portion, which really that's talking about saving the claims that we have for the user, because I think the claims should get saved.
Yeah, because they're part of your inventory. Absolutely.
No. I mean, I think
even like, oh, I see what you're saying.
I'm thinking that the claims that are used by the digger should be fine. The claims that you have in your inventory, though, I don't think we're actually doing anything for that because we don't have any persistent objects for it.
Yeah, well, once it's attached to the digger, it is kind of part of the digger, right?
Yeah, that's why I just want to double check it. Let's see.
You're looking for the saves?
Yeah.
Where did we put them?
Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness.
We both missed it.
I could not see it to save my life. It's like I was looking right at it, but it wasn't there. All right, so let me format that. Yeah, so now we can see here's the mine site's okay.
Yeah. It doesn't store like the IDs or anything though. That's on like what's on the digger. So that's kind of weird.
It doesn't store the IDs.
Like I'm trying to look like you're scrolling through pretty quick, but it didn't look like when you reload the game you'll be able to tell like that site with an ID of 1 was applied to, Digger Sam. Can you? I guess.
No. Well, we don't.
No, you
That
can't.
that never existed before, right?
Okay.
Because we never had sites as like its own thing that was managed separately.
Right. It was like kind of just more digger stats, like that hardness and
Yeah.
density. Yeah.
So I mean,
Okay.
we would have to get this up and running. We're gonna have to start storing that as part of this, or
Right.
something like that. I'm not sure, right? Because we have
So
this.
is that just going to come with it? Like, will that? So it will have an ID now, though, right? Like when we apply that. No, I guess it won't just automatically have it. All right. All right.
Well, because the
Uh
mine site is different than the claim,
huh.
right? Because the mine site is really the information about what its density and what its hardness is.
Right.
So we got so so density and hardness, but the claim itself is an ID, right? So we don't actually have any. The relationship that we have right now for this is on the claim itself. It has a reference to the mine site. Um, the mine site doesn't know about what claim it belongs to, which is fine. It just means it may be trickier to save. So if we work on the save, we have to think about that part because the mine site's going to need something to reference the claim. I mean, the claim can have an ID, right? Because we have it when you're part of your stuff. Um, so we could have that as
So,
part of it.
so was the ID actually an identity, or was it just an index to the list? Because I remember we were talking about that in the claims office.
Well, it's kind of an identity. I think it. Well, I mean, it'll reuse them, right? It's not going to, but you can't have a claim. You can't have a digger on a claim that you don't have in your inventory, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like why I feel like with the when we do the starting ones, right? The beginner claims, like I think you'll get them when you place them, but they'll be like invalid, like I don't know, just something in your inventory that'll show it there.
Okay.
If I feel like it's gonna have to create a claim when we do it. Right now, it's not. It's just creating a mine site.
Right. That gets applied to it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we do it that way. Maybe you don't have to have it actually tied to a claim. Maybe it doesn't have to be. Let's see. Maybe.
Well.
What?
Yeah. No. Let's see. I agree. Let's look at how. Let's work it a little bit.
Because what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is. Right, so this is a mine claim. We have because the other thing's a claim lease. That's right. That's what it is. So it's a claim and a claim lease. We call it a mine site, though. We may
Yeah.
have to fix that. Let me fix.
Yeah. Let's not. Yeah. Let's change that name because it's kind of weird. Because
Yeah,
that's what it's called, like when it hits the digger, right?
I think so. Yeah. So let's see.
There's mine claim, mine claim, mine site. Oof.
Yeah. So let's make this mine claim. All right. There's that. Um. So we'll do that one. Let's also rename this one here. So we'll rename that to mine claim state. All right. Good. So rename that. Yeah.
So you got a mine claim.
Oh, something didn't.
And a mine claim lease.
All right, good. I want to just fix the naming of where we're using mine site versus mine claim so that they're all consistent. Oh, all right, good. Let's just do one more quick search in the project for mine site.
Oh, hello.
All right, that's fine.
So that was all those. The tests. Whoa, the tests.
There.
Let's shoot a little fireworks while we do this refactor.
Right.
Entertainment.
I think that should draw that. Oh, what the heck? Are the tests not running? It looked like it was green though. That's weird.
Yeah, we got green dots.
Why did the build report an error? I mean, it makes sense that it reported an error. Actually, that wasn't the real question. I guess the main question is, why was it building? Oh, I don't want site. I want claim. I want site. There we go. It'd also be better if I put mine. Cool. I think we are good.
All right, so that's all changed over.
Yep.
So a little less confusion.
A little less. All right, so let me just commit that so we don't. Yeah, okay. So rename mine site to mine claim. All right, good. I do want to make sure our tests are actually running.
So what was giving you the impression that they were not?
Well, that error message was saying that count shouldn't have been available on that item, which is it was correct. Like it wouldn't have been, because these claim leases are no longer a list. It's actually an object that we created.
Oh, so you're saying like, so if we had a test on that, it should have failed.
It should have failed. I almost want to go and change those back and see, right? Because so now I converted it to the list by doing that. So this should have been failing.
Well, that's a compiler fail, right?
Yeah, so maybe that's why it's still showing as green, because
It didn't rerun because it couldn't compile.
yeah, but it still feels like it should have ran. That's weird. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I'm not even sure. But
Gonna have to go through life not knowing, man.
yeah, it feels like I should have gotten some kind of error or warning down here letting me know that I couldn't run it at least. All right. So now we've got that renamed. So the thought I had was I feel like on the mine claim maybe we can give it a
Like a lease ID or something.
Yeah.
Is the yeah, because then we can pull those two pieces kind of together because they're not the same, but they're related. But you kind of had a good point. Like, do they even really like why? I mean, it's sort of cognitively easy because like you're thinking of them together, but I don't know that one does need to know. I guess it does for this, especially for the saving.
I think the reason it's important. Um, so I think the question becomes is, does the mine claim? Yeah, so it has to. So the mine claim, I think the direction we might want to go is claim lease to mine claim, because mine claim doesn't really need to know which claim lease it comes from, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we don't have this, and we just make an ID for the mine claim.
And then attach that to the lease.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because the lease is sort of hangs off of the claim.
Right. Right.
Okay.
That's. I'll tell you that. So now the part I'm not happy about that is that now this mine claim, we need to give it an identity.
What do you mean you have to give it an identity, like a unique identity?
Yes. So it has to have a unique identity. That's the only kind of identities that there are, is unique identities.
Well, yeah.
So I think I'm trying to get a sense of like, if we give this an identity, then we have an identity on the claim lease. Now we've got two items that have identities that they're really tied to each other. I'm not sure if I like the idea of the lease having to be part of the digger, because the digger is its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to keep them from getting too mixed up with each other.
Okay. So
I don't know what the right answer is. That's what I'm trying to kind of work it out.
yeah,
Maybe
because it seems like the claim and the digger, right? Like they're sort of physically connected because the digger is going to use the properties of the claim in order to do its like rolls as it digs, whereas the lease is not. It also needs to be referenced to the digger, but it really doesn't care about the density or hardness after you apply it.
it doesn't, but what happens when you destroy the digger and you want to put another digger on that claim?
Yeah, so you need to be able to. Well, the digger would know which. Yeah, right. So who knows? What's the.
Well, let's imagine this. Let's think about if we think about it in the real world scenario, right? The claim is kind of like a property, right? And so it does
Right.
have an identity. So maybe it should have an identity, because you have a mine claim, and the mine claim itself is probably a position, in a real world scenario, right? It might be a plot, or it might be, like, this is in Moorestown, this is in this location.
Right. It's like a
This,
piece of earth, though.
yeah, it's a piece of earth, right? There's actual spot. So it does have an identity. The lease as well has an identity because it's an agreement on that property.
But it's an abstraction. It's not a concrete
Yeah.
thing, and it only exists between the miner essentially and the claim.
Office. Well, in the claim office, right?
And the claim
That's
office,
their
yeah.
agreement, right? So that's how they the ownership happens. So
So
technically, if you had another lease, you could have a lease that's different with that same claim, but they couldn't be existing at the same time.
right. Not that our game will necessarily encompass that, but yeah,
I
for our
agree.
thought exercise, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that the idea might be is that we actually have the mine claim should have an ID, which this just makes things fun.
So now we have to issue IDs, right?
Yeah, that's the part that I'm not super excited about. I'm trying to figure out how we manage them.
Yeah. Hmm.
You know what the funny part about this is? What actually is making this hard is that we have to save them. If we didn't have to save them, it wouldn't matter, right? It's the saving process that makes this hard. Because we could just maintain references if we wanted to do it as just in the game, but it's how do you rebuild those references coming out of the persistence? You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, I got distracted for a second. So what's this about? I'm sorry, I got distracted with something else came on my computer.
Well, then don't worry about it. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah. So
this would all. So that gets written to the file, I guess.
yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm trying to think of like. Yeah. I don't know. I'll tell you the part I'm concerned about right now, right? So now we got to put this ID. Now we've got to issue IDs. So now we're going to have something that is a mine claim management.
Mm-hmm. Right, because it's gonna have to ticket these things.
Right. What does that mean for us here?
I don't know. That's the kind of thing that often you would use like a database for, at least in business programming, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what? And it's funny in DDD though they don't like doing that either, right? They have an ID issuer. I mean, we can create a mine claim repo that we store this information in. That would do the ID issuing, and it would have all the claims that exist in the system, and then that way we can just put them on the given, use them in the given locations.
So how much would that piece that's going to know about that? Like, would it really manage them all, or would it be just a matter of keeping track of what the last number you issued was? Like, how robust of a manager class are we talking here? You think?
Oh, I think it would be a repo. So
okay,
it would be a full repo. Like it would have in there would be a list of mine claims.
Okay.
And then you just kind of like you just create it and add it. You know what I mean? Like you just it's like a mine. It's a repo.
Yeah,
So
it's a repo. I got you.
I'm just trying to think of like we haven't done it for other stuff, so that's what makes it weird at the moment, right? That's what makes me feel weird about it.
Because this is the only thing that's going to have that type of.
Well, I mean, I think it's the only place that we have something separate, right? It doesn't. The mine claim exists inside of a relationship, inside of two different relationships.
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't depend on one of them. So we could have a claim without a lease. Yeah, so we can have a claim without a lease. We can't have a lease without a claim.
Right.
And we can't have a digger without a claim, right? So a claim has to be part of a digger.
We can have an equipped one, yeah. An equipped
Yeah.
digger has to have a claim.
Right. So and then the other part of it is that then the claim has some existence on the claim lease. So the claim lease doesn't really need a repo because the claim lease actually exists in the store or exists in the user's list, like the user's owned claims, like the minor.
Right. So this is okay. Right. So it's like in the bag, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Honestly, so realistically, if we actually did create a thing for it, right? Because we have a where did it go? So on the minor, we have an object called claim leases, right? And this is in essence a repository.
yeah, it is. It's a list, but it has all the handles.
Yeah, and see in the ad here does its issuing of the
Yeah.
ID. So it's I mean
So we
it's
kind of are doing it. So we kind of,
yeah,
and
so
this
maybe
is, yeah, it's not that bad. Like what's here is, it's not a ton of code.
it's not. It's not. So we'll just do it. We'll do it in here as well, right? So we'll just do.
All right. So put a new repo class in there then.
Yeah. What am I doing? Why don't I? I'm just gonna cheat.
Just gonna copy it.
Yeah. I am wondering about the naming on this, right? Just calling this claim leases, but it doesn't indicate. It's not indicative of the fact that it's a repo, but I feel like it's okay.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be okay, right? Roll with it for now.
Yep. All right. Need to add.
Probably want to change those variable names as well.
Yep. I was just trying to get the. Right. So that.
Doesn't it like about that?
I think it doesn't. This is missing the link, and we don't have a set ID on here yet. So, I feel like this.
It's pretty.
What's that?
I was just gonna say it's pretty funny being able to hear the music now since you put the the music in my headset as well.
Yeah. Right.
It's pretty crazy. I didn't realize it. It was so. It gets kind of nuts once in a while.
Yeah. Well, that's why every now and then I have to like turn it down because it's just like it'll get crazy loud all of a sudden. All right, we don't need this because we're not doing that check. Has ID. So now the only thing we do want to do with this is actually at the end of this, we want to return a mine claim. And so then we'll do return. I don't know why I didn't rename that. So we can do that. I wonder how many of these sets we're actually using. I wondering if so. I'm going to create a constructor for this. I think I'd like to have it use a constructor.
Okay. And and set them there, like pass them in.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It'll make
No, that's probably okay. That's pretty good. Because you're right, we're probably not setting them from outside anyway.
they shouldn't be changing after they've been set either.
Yeah, that's a bad thing, right? That shouldn't be manipulable.
Right. It's kind of what. So I want to do that one. We're going to add you. Awesome. All right, so now we've got that on the state. We've got this. I think I want to do. Let's do ID as well. And we'll just do. I want to do it where we can also just get the 2 and just set a default.
Okay.
So then we can basically pass in a 0 and chip. And then the hardness. There we go. Oh. What's this?
Ah.
I forgot. All right, so now we've got mine claims that we can use here.
Hmm. And that'll issue the ID, so we'll have all that.
Where do we add the mine claims then? I think it's going to be on state. So let's put it next to this one. All right, so we'll do mine claims. I don't even want a set. Yeah.
So is mine claims going to be something that's in the miner, or is that's all the mine claims in the game?
This is all of them in the game.
Okay.
Which is kind of why the claim leases actually should also be like that. So I don't know what we're gonna do. It's getting hairy.
Yeah.
It's getting a little hairy. Yeah, so we don't need to do anything about that. I think that's fine. I think we could probably even do the same thing here. Like, there's nothing. Yeah, so why don't we do that? We can get rid of this set. All right, cool. Let's see if that builds still. Ah.
No, sir.
Awesome. So we got this. Oh, good, because I got rid of the sets there. That's right. We didn't have any of those. I think we're good. All right. So now let's just go through and fix these. Yep, so this can just now be.
Did your screen lock up?
No, it
Or
doesn't. No.
okay.
Looks like you've frozen now.
Okay, so maybe it locked up for me, your screen share. So I was like, I don't see it doing anything.
Yeah, I can see that you are now officially frozen.
Yeah, I can see it on mine too.
I think it's interesting that I can still hear you, but your video is just it's just kick the bucket.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either, because everything on my end looks just fine. My ping is okay, and my CPU is good, my memory usage is good, so I don't know what it is.
Yeah, right?
But I mean, I can see that I'm not moving on my side either, so. And your screen isn't moving anymore.
Yeah, so it's like you definitely have reached like maximum.
I don't know, let me try and stop my camera like I do sometimes.
Okay.
It's having difficulty even doing that. I probably am going to crash Skype, it seems.
Oh,
So I'll call you back if that happens.
all right. That sounds good. Oh, we do an interesting thing here. We just do we create a mine claim with just default results. Let me just do. We'll just do. Create something that just says mine claim default. So Pete, I'm not sure if you're still there or not.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. Yeah.
All right. So Skype is completely unresponsive. I can't click. I can't even re-window the window. It's like stuck maximized.
I wonder if it's a situation where hold on a second. Oh, that's why it's yelling at me. Maybe Skype in general is just having problems because Skype is taking up 100% of my CPU. Let's try. I'm gonna try killing Skype here, folks. Give me 1 second. See if this makes a difference here for what we're doing work-wise. Alright, let's try calling you back.
Hello.
Hey, alright. We got you back.
It finally crashed.
Oh, well, it's funny. So I just killed mine too and
Okay.
restarted it because it was taking a long time. Like you tried calling back.
Oh, look, now I'm in 2 spots.
Yeah. Yeah, back to normal size again.
Hey.
So let's go which doesn't matter. So while you were away, this actually was just creating an empty mine claim. So I just decided to create a specific default.
Okay, I need a screen share.
You need a screen share. All right, let's back up.
All right, cool.
Ooh, that hurt. A cramp in my hand. Ah, there's more. Okay. Ah, yeah. So here we go. This is why I added that default. Go over here, Pete.
Ah, yes. So that's the default that you put in there.
Yeah, because it was empty, so it was kind of creating a default. But this way, we're expressing it now at least.
Right.
I'm hoping
Kind of
that'll.
take control of it.
Yeah. Whoa. All right, clean that up.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, there's an extra one. All right.
Like on a roll, man, with your tests.
Well, I
So
gotta just. What do you
in the
mean?
zone. I don't know. You're just like in the zone. You're like just typing away, like boom, 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 boom. No, right. We got to move through. Like normally we have to stop and think or whatever. It's like
Yeah. Well, I was getting
he's on a roll.
all the stuff back up and working.
Oh.
Let me see. All right, good. Well, let me just make sure everything's still working. I don't want to go too much further without
Yeah.
having something tested here. You go to the control room.
Okay.
All right, so that looks good. That looks good. Awesome. All right, so game is still in functioning order. Should be able to
Oh, excuse me.
just force a run here real quick. All right, good.
All right. So now it has an identity. That's what we accomplished through all that, right?
Well, now we can give it an identity, and they didn't just get them.
Well, I mean, it's going to get placed on there. We didn't necessarily do anything with it, but we have the ability to set that value now.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we've given it so it has that. We've also created the listing for it, so it'll have that portion. But that the last piece of work that we were actually doing was making it so that it was immutable, so we can't change the values of it, which makes sense because there's no reason that any of that stuff would change over time.
Right. So that is definitely something you want to build on the constructor because that's the only time it's going to get set, right? So
Right.
and that makes sense.
Now the only thing. So what we should take a look at is, how does this have 6 references?
Mind clean? Maybe the tests?
Do you think it's because it's saying that there's 6 of the 7 calls here? Will actually fall through to that. I wonder if it actually knows that these 7 references here, well, 6 of these references. No, they all come down. It's weird that it says 6 and it shows 1.
And then there's 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm confused by. So here's a spot that we might be able to take advantage of, right? So the only problem is that this doesn't have access to the game state directly. Game state, actually, it's not leaked out. I was thinking here we could actually create the mine and put it onto the list, right? And then we just return it, right? So I was thinking of, do we have?
So the factory would actually push it in there when it creates it.
It could, yes. That's what I was thinking. That might be an option.
Okay.
I was trying to think of where we do the. There's only. Well, maybe we leave this like this, so this builder doesn't actually have to worry itself about the Uh oh,
You mean because of?
my mouse just died.
You're saying so you don't have to have like that repo available?
Yeah, like I don't know whether this should have to know about the repo or not.
Probably not really. Actually, now that you mention it.
Right? Uh-oh.
Yeah, because it's going to pass this out anyway. So I mean, whatever
Right.
calls this could.
Yeah. Give me 1 second here. I'm having mice issues. This is almost like I'm having Bluetooth issues.
Yeah. I'll do some emotes. Hey, is Alien working on the stream?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, there he goes. I hadn't worked. I didn't get a chance. Oh, I got the stuff working on it, but I didn't get the text to line up in the middle of it.
Pretty good though.
It is.
Oh boy. Oh boy, here they come.
It's getting crazy. So,
Oh yeah.
so they take. So what I did is I made it so that they take the same amount of time. But they go to different spots.
So they move at different paces.
Yeah. So it'll look like they're moving faster or slower, but it's just the same amount of time, but they may go a little bit further, a little bit shorter. I did it like a 200, 300. I just wanted to make them so they'd move in different spots and come out in different areas.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. When they all come walking out.
Definitely maybe. Ooh. Why are you making me yawn?
I know it's my fault too, man. I just started. I need some
Why are
coffee or
you
something.
making me yawn? Right.
Why are you making me yawn? Are you turning Italian?
Yeah, right?
Hanging out with all these Italian people too much.
I know. It's too much. So we want to do game state, then we should be able to do the mine claims. Now we can add. Right, so.
Yep.
Yeah, so now we just do that. That'll give us our mine claims going into the spot. There should be one other spot here. It's down below. All right, so now we'll always get an ID. There's one other spot that we should have to deal with. Hold on a second. I feel like so that was used there. This is taken from the state. Oh, so now we actually want to do state.mine.
Because we have that list.
Yeah, well now we have the ID, right? So
Right.
we want to put that in there.
Right. Okay. It's getting complicated, man.
I know it is. This is fine. Empty command test, that's fine. Where there's a spot that we're doing it that. Oh, here it is. Here's what I was looking for.
In the claims office.
Yeah, yeah, in the claims office. That's why I was like trying to find where it was getting done. So here's that.
Yeah.
Right. So
And
now we
that's where
can.
it's hard coded too, right? Okay. I remember that
Save
now.
that. Oh no. Should this have?
Does it not have the game state? It's up there. It's underscore.
Ah, okay. I thought it did.
Me too.
Right. So now we've got. Yeah. So now if we do it like this.
Everything's got the game state actually.
Yeah. Eh. It is what it is. All right. So now let's put, just to ensure this is working, since Jim isn't here. we'll do it in the equip command. What I want to do is not here. Shoot, not the equip command. The equip scene.
Okay.
So I want to actually take a look. So we're going to come in here. We're going to get this. So I want to see it here. It would be interesting to see it here. All right, so let's do it once where we're going to do it without the we're going to do without it turned on, without the well, the first one we're going to do is
Yes.
where we have claims available. So we'll start with that.
Right,
And
so
we
you're going
can-
to flip that switch on and off. Gotcha.
Yeah. There. I want to. All right.
So right now it's off?
It is technically on.
Okay.
Let me just, but I want to use the breakpoint and just skip it, so that way we can test both ways, right? So I want to buy two. This time you got me, Pete. This
Yeah.
time you got me.
I'm sorry, man. Had a busy day today.
How did we not? Oh, sugar. That's all right. So I'll do one more this time. You can't do this at this. You can't do this at this time.
Oh, do we not have any diggers? We should.
You know what? I don't have any claims.
Oh,
I don't have any available claims because they're all in use.
you only have the one.
Oh, we gotta
Oh,
change
there
that
you go.
message. That was a terrible message.
Yeah.
You can't do this at this time. Oh,
You can do that at that time, though.
yeah, right. You can't equip a digger.
Can't do that on television.
All right, since I stopped it, let's set this to false.
Alrighty.
So now I should be able to just go to the store. Yeah, so this is set to false, so I should be able to then skip there.
So that should fall right through, and it does.
Yep. So now we should actually have one mine claim in here.
Why is there two?
So the real question is, why aren't there three? We would have gotten two because the two claims leases that were created for the claim office would have
Okay.
taken. So we would have gotten those two, which I think is what we see in here.
Okay. So okay, that makes sense because that still happened whether we need it or not.
Rich
For the
solid 2. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it only created 1. Can we look at diggers? That's on the minor, right? So we have minor.
I believe it
diggers.
is, yeah. So Sam,
Rich
Solid.
solid 0 though.
But well, yeah. Why would it be 0? Ugh. That one's 1 and 2. So did it create 3?
I don't know. I don't know. So this mine claim would have gotten created with the ID being set, would have added it and returned the all right, so this should have worked. This looks like it should have worked.
And it's probably where we got 1 and 2.
Right.
Where did 0 come from? Is that like the default?
I don't know. Let's see. Well, this would have come in as 0. This wouldn't have done anything, right? Where it would have taken this mine claim. Interesting. 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 Why would it have? This is weird. I didn't realize we had it like this.
So it drew it in. Well, go ahead. Explain, please.
Yeah. So we're using the digger state, right? So we're using the state, and so what this actually is, this standard digger here, we don't have like a digger configuration somewhere else, right? So what we did is we created this static function here called standard digger that gives us a basic digger and allows us to inject a mine claim into it. But the mine claim that comes in gets converted into a mine claim state, which is put on here, and then that mine claim state is then converted into the digger. So it's actually not. Yeah, that face is a very appropriate face. Yeah. It's not great. It's not great.
We're gonna have to do that different.
It feels, yes, it does. Feels very much like we're gonna have to do this different. Honestly, the problem with us doing the way that we're handling the state, I think, is part of the issue. Because the state is owned. I mean, this doesn't have to, I mean, it's not the worst thing, I guess. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's just like, it's just weird. I wasn't expecting it. And I think that's what I don't like about it the most. So now when we go to, yeah, so see then now here it'll recreate the mine claim.
Okay, so we'll actually create the claim itself from that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But now I do want to look at the Um, okay, so this explains. So because we have no, we one of the decisions we made
Right.
was that when a claim listing, oh, it's the same claim that we're using. That will be a
Oh,
problem. So now this
yeah.
will become an issue.
Oh, well, because they didn't have identity before, so you could kind of get away with that, right?
Yep.
Because whatever you spun up, that's what you got.
Yep.
But now they have a persistent identity, so now we're tripping over that. Okay. Eh,
Yeah, this is getting a little messy. We might have to come up with another way of doing it. Oh,
I'm
I
feeling
can't
her.
even do that.
Hmm? Hmm.
Uh, we have to create them because this and this are the same, right? And so then we need one that's for that other one.
Ooh.
I'll put that one here. We could even make this one use the builder, right? So we can just do
Yeah, factory. I think it was. Was it a?
yeah.
Yeah, mine
Yeah,
was factory.
what the heck is going on here? John,
Why?
come on. I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that.
Yeah, why is it putting all that extraneous stuff on there? It's weird.
Well, because it just wants to be cool with all the other cool kids.
Oh, did you not have the using? Is that what the problem was?
Yeah.
So it's doing it all
Oh,
explicitly.
yeah. The other part was because it was still running.
Oh.
I didn't want to do it again. Mm-mm-mm. All right. That's right. So we were gonna go to the store. I
Right.
need to buy a standard digger. We head over to the control room. And now we can equip it. So I wanted to step through this here, right? So now in here I should have 3. All right, good.
And there are.
We have the one that we create this default. Then this is a random one, and another random one, and it still has the ID of 3. And if we look at the miner, we look at the diggers that we've got here. Now it's got the ID in there as where. Well, was it scarce hard?
I forget. There was a. Was there a scarce hard? I don't know.
Okay, good.
Scarce hard. Yeah.
There was no reason it shouldn't have been there, but
Yeah, but if we're checking it, we should check it. I got you.
yeah. Yeah, so now we've got it working where we're going to be storing those separately. So now we should be able to, if I do a save now, that's 2. Right, so.
And there it is. Well, why is it a 0?
Well, I'm pretty sure I know why. I'm not happy about it, but I think I know why. We actually get the state from the digger because originally it was under there.
So, hey guys, I was wondering, do you guys find where? I don't know. We've been doing it over the internet a long time now. But we used to work together.
Yeah.
Either or.
That's an interesting question.
I guess it's a little better together. I don't know.
it's easier to go have lunch when you need to take a break. when, when-
That's the truth.
you know, um, but so when I do doing pair programming, I like the idea of us both having a monitor and being able to sit and kind of look at the same monitor together, where it's hard when sitting next to each other. Because most of the time, at least in a lot of the offices I've worked in, I haven't had the opportunity to actually have two monitors right next to each other where you could do pair programming like right at the same time. So you kind of have to really switch off back and forth. I find it a little bit easier doing it this way. Um,
Yeah, but keep in mind, I don't have a keyboard, so I'm really just following along a screen share, and John's doing the typing. So this what you're witnessing is not really a pair programming session in the sense that I can jump in and start driving because I can't as we have it.
Yeah, which actually we could, and we've done it. You've had so many problems with the internet that we haven't been able to get the live share working. 'Cause remember, like we
Yeah,
would use live share, and then it would just kill the stream, would kill your connection, and then we'd be sitting there going, "Well, now we're just trying to fight with live share over the stream," and that was
yeah,
just
it would flake everything out. Yeah. So, I mean, that was a while ago and we used to do it that way. And honestly, I mean, you're way better at typing and talking at the same time. Like if I was driving, you wouldn't hear my voice because I'm not as good at typing and talking.
yeah.
But
What have you found, split fire with comparing like working online or in person? Let's see here.
two heads better than one. Yeah, well, that's definitely the truth. You can catch different things too. Like so it's
Yeah.
kind of cool. And you do your little refactors as you go even kind of, which is nice.
Yeah, except now I forgot what I was doing. I'm sorry.
Oh,
All
you've
right.
only ever worked solo?
Hmm.
I like pair programming. Um, I think it's pretty cool. It's more fun. You get to bounce ideas around and stuff like right there. And
Yeah.
it's kind of cool too because you're kind of reviewing the code as you go. So
Well, you also have to answer to why you did something right
mhm.
away. You're kind of like, hey, I'm going to do this thing. And you're like, doing it solo, you could be like, yeah, I'll come back and fix this later. It's like, but
Yeah,
then,
right. I'm just going to call it my variable.
yeah, I'm gonna call it
It'll be
my
fine.
variable.
It'll be fine.
Well, I'm going to have 26 variables because I just use one letter.
A few years ago. Eh. Yeah, well, we're generally business developers. We're kind of playing around with games ourselves. So,
Yeah, well, that's
but
that's
it's
the other
fun.
part, right? So we're doing this because so I've always had a desire to do game development. Honestly, that's what got me into programming years and years and years and years ago. So I wanted to do game development, but the jobs were easier to get for business development. So I started doing that. And then it was like, so then we came back and I was like, all right, I've always read about it and tried to keep up on like how to do certain stuff. And Pete and I have tried to do a game. What that was, oh man, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
well, so
so,
we've actually made a couple stabs at different stuff. If you remember, the first thing we did was 3D Tetris back with DirectX. Remember that?
yeah, trying to make that work. That was crazy.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
what sort of game was the one we tried before? It was like it was Craft, right? It was
yeah,
it was all the best parts of all the games. That's why we don't have it today.
that's why it's not existing. Yeah, it was tough. It was along the lines of like we were trying to get something that was going to be more of a like an MMO style game, but that you really develop everything inside the game. There's actually a game, Pete, that just recently I was reading about that seemed like they were trying to do the same thing, and we'll see if that has any traction because it sounded interesting. I wish I could remember what the name of it was now.
Yeah, so we wanted to have like an MMO, but like the items in it like were all like had a really robust not very far honestly. Code wise we didn't get very far. Ideas wise we got pretty far, but I don't know. We started trying to do it in JavaScript and it was kind of cool. Um, what was we were using an engine. I forget what we were using. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to find the time to devote to it.
Yeah,
Um,
well, it was before Phaser,
it was before.
because it was probably 10 years ago.
Was it? Yeah, it really was, John. It was like 2011 or something.
Yeah, and so we were still Yeah, way far off from doing it. But
I have not. Have you tried Unreal, John?
I have not. Um, I'll tell you. So I did look at it, but this was back when Unreal Tournament was actually still out, and or like the first iteration or first or second iteration of Unreal Tournament, and they were like, "Oh, the engine's now available," but they wanted you to pay. I think you had to give them like $100,000 out of the gate to even get a
Wow.
copy of it. Yeah,
Yeah. So
I mean, I think it's different now. I think they have, I think they have some different options now, right?
apparently he's using the.
Oh, so it has a lot of stuff. It's interesting. What is it? What is the? Oh, it's totally free now. Interesting. Well, Pete, we
Hmm.
may have to take a look at that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I would like to take a look at Unity too, honestly. With
Yeah,
it being C sharp native and everything, but just 5%
that's true.
royalties.
What it?
So
What
five
is?
percent of nothing's nothing, right? If you don't get
Yeah. So now it's free. There you go.
uh,
It's Unreal. What is the? So in Unreal, I'm assuming you can develop components for it, right? So you have to do some. You can do some kind of coding in it. How much does that? Like, what does that end up being done in? I don't even know what their coding language of choice is. Um, huh. It's a visual
visuals.
scripting system, huh? Ah, that's interesting. I think we'll have to take a look at it. Maybe
Yeah.
we can try to do something with that. I'd have to get a different computer.
Yeah, right.
It's like playing Little Big Planet. That's pretty cool.
I
Wow.
don't, I don't think we can add a fourth stream in the week, man. We'd have to swap it out with the Friday stream or something.
Yeah. Well, we have to do something. Well, I mean, we've talked about wanting to take. So the funny part. So, Splitfire, we were actually doing this as a text-based game. We were just doing something for fun with it, and then we've kind of built it up, and now we're using like a small game engine that actually just lets us do graphical consoles. So we're doing the graphical consoles, and so now we're like, well, maybe we should up this to the next level. Maybe that's what we could do. Maybe we could do this in uh, an Unreal Engine.
That'd be kind of interesting.
I know,
Huh.
right?
Yeah.
Do it where you actually have to run around to do it.
Yeah, right. Actually have like little buildings and stuff. You have to run out there and empty your digger hoppers and stuff. That'd be kind of cool.
You know, it's funny. It would remind me of. It would remind me of. Uh, the Star Wars Online, like the first one.
Oh, yeah, because they had like little
Ah, nice.
machines and stuff you would set up, right? And have to.
And it would have a hopper, and it would have like you'd have to find places that you could put them that would actually dig or like would basically um, mine or I didn't call it mining, but there was like things that it would like extract, like it was extracting from the game or from the ground. Um, yeah, and you'd have to run back and forth between them to go and pick up the stuff. Ah, it runs on phones too. For some reason I'm surprised that Unreal Engine has worked on the phone. I saw there was one I was watching. I was watching a video just recently about some of the latest stuff that they're doing on Unreal Engine with their lighting algorithms and their ray tracing. That's going to be like doing real time ray tracing, and that looked insane. Like I was blown away by it because they were showing um, like how they were able to do like quick occlusions of light and show how it like would affect the cave to going completely dark and then just bringing in little bits of it, and it was just like expanding out. Yeah, the one that came out last week. I think that's the one that I was looking at, and I was just like, "This is amazing." It was because they were doing something where the polygon count that they had was like in the billions. It was ridiculous.
What?
Yeah, they're basically trying to eliminate the need for doing all the baking of graphics and stuff like that, where you have to, bake normal maps and bake the having to do levels of detail and basically eliminating the need of that. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I'm with you on that split fire. I was thinking that, like, part of me was watching it going like, is this a trick? Like, are they doing something that is like it works very specifically in this very narrow set? But I don't know. I mean, even within that narrow set, because I think they were doing it on a PlayStation 5, I think, is what they were actually running the demo on. I don't know. It looked crazy. I loved it though. Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, well,
That's neat. I think we'll have to check that one out, Pete. Then we can
yeah, well,
focus on the idea.
we kind of have a resource that we could tap a little bit. We know the author of that book, so I still talk to her. Like,
Oh
well,
yeah, you do.
Allison does really, but like sends an email once in a while. It's actually
Ah,
here. I can link
that's
the book
awesome.
even.
Yeah. So the game, the game that we're working on. So the game we're working on is just it's a silly text adventure game. Pete, why don't you explain you can
Oh,
explain the history and the mindset for the game.
okay, so to it's a pretty long story, but to make a long story short, I was trying to teach my son a little bit of coding, and it's funny because I've gotten in the intervening time, I've gotten way more into like teaching and everything. But at the time, I just started with Visual Studio and C Sharp, and popped open an actual like created an actual console program, and we just started creating this little game where basically you would have, you create a little this digger. That was the idea, was that you were mining potato chips. So you would create this little machine, or buy it really from the store, and set it to work, and it would run every so many, basically would loop around every couple seconds, and it would do this dig where it would roll. It would basically like do like an internal roll to see how many chips came out and how much damage your digger took. And that was, and you could kind of just do like one, and then I got it so you could add a couple, and that's about as far as me and my son took it. And he was interested in it, but I mean, he's moved on to other things now. He's kind of like a music kid now, at this point, in the intervening years. But we started doing the stream, and we kind of picked it up and started running with it. And so when we were trying to do a lot more stuff with the console, and it just got kind of crazy. Trying to do having the different diggers and really be able to have the game look like it's running, as opposed to just being like text getting spit out. So that's how we ended up we ended up having what was it, mono game we're using, I guess. So we
Yeah, we're
put
using
mono
mono
game
game.
in, and then that, what was it,
Sad console.
sad console was what it was called, that was built on top of it, and that allows us to so really this is like it's a canvas, it's a game canvas that we're drawing consoles onto, so that we can have multiple screens. So like the screen that's scrolling on the side there, that's this console object, and then all the stuff that's happening, like that heads up display, is actually a console that's stretched across the top. So I mean, that was really the evolution of it. And yeah, I guess it was like I got it started, and it was something to do on the stream, because we had wanted to start doing some live coding on Twitch here, and it was like, well, we kind of need a project. So like a command console. You type command text
Yeah, so like
in,
if you were to
and
open up the command prompt,
yeah, right.
right? So this is a console, command console. Yeah. So and we were using. So Sad Console was kind of an adaptation, or like they built it on top of Mono Game, and so it allows you to kind of do all the text. You can like draw like the old school like console windows and stuff like that, where you could do like buttons and selectors and stuff.
Yeah, and scroll bars, and there's even like mousing and stuff that you can do.
Yeah. So it was just a way of kind of like upping the game a little bit, right? Because part of what we wanted to do is be able to have these sections. The really funny part is, since then, Windows has now got Windows Terminal, which they're now going to have in the way that has been built, that you can actually do this kind of development inside of that, which I was surprised that they were going to be able to do that, because they've added some other stuff to it. But
Must have been watching our stream.
right, You know what I mean? Like there was something about it that seemed like that's what they were trying to do.
Yeah, so
Nice.
so I don't know. We've been flirting with the idea of taking this from. I mean, as cool as this is, as we flesh out the game, it kind of would be more fun if you could see like little diggers digging and little hoppers getting full, and maybe be able to like walk into these different rooms instead of typing control room and store. Like maybe have a little avatar you could walk around or something. So yeah, it's all C sharp, every bit of it.
Oh, there's no underscore. I was like, wait a minute, why is this not?
Yeah, yeah. I guess. Well, I don't know. Yeah, like graphics. I guess like maybe like a map. Like because that's the other thing. Like we're getting to these mine sites and things like that, so you could have like kind of a map. It's funny actually. Me and my son were sort of fleshing out like a game narrative to go with it. So we were talking about, and it's real loose, but we were talking like about like a scientist who's about to have like a Super Bowl party, but he's doing some experiment, and as it happens, he ends up like creating this like uh, this microscopic civilization, right? And then since time goes real slow for them, it actually kind of like they evolve very quick. So over the course of the Super Bowl, they've managed to fly down to the buffet table and start mining out Doritos and potato chips and all that kind of snack stuff to fuel their like economy that has evolved, and so their whole civilization is going to take place over the length of a Super Bowl game. So that is kind of like this weird little narrative we came up for it. So then we got as far, yeah, right. It's totally absurd. That's the point, right?
It was. It was a fun
Oh,
part, right?
yeah, yeah. It is pretty cool. Well, my kids are awesome. So like they're both like super creative and yeah.
They think
So
about
so
stuff like that, so it's fun.
yeah, it really was. So yeah, and then it was funny. I was even talking about because my other son is he does a lot of the like he's in a game design class in school, and he's does a lot of the artwork stuff. So I was telling him that like it'd be kind of cool if we made like potato chip miner, and it's like it's this absurd idea, but then I don't know how old you are, or but back when I was young, they would have like the old arcade cabinets, and like the graphics that would be on the side of the cabinet would be like this like intense like comic book looking like Centipede had like this gnarly centipede with like these big fangs coming down. There was like this little elf like shooting, like things at her or whatever. So that was on the side of the camera, on the side of the cabinet. But then when you played the game, it was like beep, boop, 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 So I was like, oh, we should do like some kind of like you have like this giant mining machine and potato chips are flying up, and that would be like our cover screen for it. So yeah, right. I think about these things too much, I think. But yeah, so anyway. Yeah, it would be, right? If all we had was time. So
Yeah, right. Exactly the contrast. Well, you know what? We could still do the graphics version of the game, Pete. It'll just be like blocks and triangles and pills and like just be a bunch
yeah,
of stuff
right.
like that.
Have like a little guy moving.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like a circle with two bars that stick out. Looks like he's walking.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know, man.
weird.
I don't know. It'd be kind of cool though to do it like graphic-y, but then you got to do all the assets, right? Like, and I'm not as much as I would love to be that guy. I'm not that guy, so I'd have to get my son to do it, and I don't know. He likes doing his own thing. I ask him. Yeah, it's cool. Well, keep tuning in, man. We try and do it like every Wednesday. Sometimes life gets in the way, but you
Yeah.
know,
Splitfire, are you doing any streaming yourself? Because I mean, because I'd definitely be interested in seeing somebody doing Unreal. It'd be
yeah,
cool.
right. Yeah, I would tune in. I would tune in for that if you want to start streaming the Unreal stuff. Yeah,
Ah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I definitely tune in. I'll make sure we get you friended to when you start doing it. We'll see them pop up. That'd be cool.
yeah, it's cool. Yeah, man. It's you know what I love when we have somebody that's actually conversating with us. That's kind of the point of the live stream, right? So you can interact with the.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he did a firework. Did you see the special effects we have? By the way,
The big special effects.
here. This is you can only get this on Pete's House of Code streams. Really? I'm gonna do a big one. I'm gonna do like the grand finale one. I'm just hitting random stuff in the thing here. There we go.
Yeah, right. And then you can get the aliens walking out.
Oh yeah, let's do an alien.
That's funny.
Yeah, so that's actually what we've been doing on our Friday stream is so that stuff's all being run by Phaser, which is a JavaScript game engine. So yeah, so we add stuff to the stream bot and whatnot on Fridays. Yeah, good times indeed, man. Good times.
What did I want? All right.
It is
Yep.
running. Cool.
Yeah. Well, so and then I put in the. So I was trying to set up the hopper, right? So then we could see the stuff there, right? So then we can inspect Sam. Now we should be able to see the
Right.
upgrade. So we got that going. I think all my diggers are broken now.
Oh, what was that? Oh, is that
Yeah,
somebody
follow.
joined? Oh, awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, so we got that. Yeah, and so I don't know, I was just kind of running through the game. I forgot how much stuff we've actually got in here. It would be interesting to do this in something like that, because I think we could make it interesting at least.
I could see like where you have like a tray full of your diggers and they're all kind of moving along with like little progress bars and little damage meters and
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
yeah, I could see that.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
if the code could transfer.
I don't know if we could transfer the code. I think what we might be able to do though is we have all the rules that we've developed around it, and I think that's something that we could transfer pretty easily.
Yeah, we could port the logic.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know, what is the native language? I mean, there has to be some coding. And is it just that scripting language that you're using?
Yeah, that's what he was saying, like the visual scripting language. Okay.
Oh, all right. So there's C++ in there as well.
So then some of it could. It would never. It wouldn't be a direct port, but there's a lot of it that could.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'd have to tweak some of it. Hey, it's open source, man. If you want to pull the code, and I mean, I don't know that you probably don't know C#, I guess so.
Yeah, we would have to play it.
Yeah, we'd have to kind of work with it, but.
Let's see. Oh, I gotta repair. All right.
Yeah. Do we have? I think we even have. We have links on here somewhere, right, for our GitHub? Yeah.
Yeah, I think GitHub has the. On Twitch, it has the link to GitHub for the code set base.
Yeah, we do. We have it down the bottom here. Yeah, GitHub projects. Yeah, feel free to pull the code if you want to check it out.
Set that. Okay.
Oh my goodness, we got 7 minutes left, John.
Time
flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You know what? It's been a while. I think it's been even a couple of streams since we've really played through. Like I played through a bunch of it, and I forgot all the stuff that we've got in here.
Yeah, it gets pretty frantic too as you start to like have more diggers going and stuff.
I know. It makes it. I think I was joking with you, Pete, before that I was saying like it'd be interesting to almost use this as like an IP and create different forms of a potato chip miner. So you could have like a platformer, you could have the, the online like 3D game, you could have the,
right, like Nintendo does with like Mario.
Yeah,
like, they got
like
driving
Nintendo
games, they
does
got platformers, they got fighting games, whatever you want, they got it.
Yeah, you could do the phone one where it's like more like the fight one, like where you have to set up all the stuff and then the things have to happen. You gotta let it run and finish, and then see if you finish that level, and then it goes to the next one.
Right. Right? We could have we could do like a RTS. Could call it like potato chip war.
There you go. See?
You know, like build like units. Oh, it'd be awesome. Oh boy.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man.
Wow. All the stuff is breaking.
Remember we were talking about being able to kind of play it through the game even? You picked the right stream to watch. I'm so glad you feel that way. It's very exclusive too, as you could tell.
That's right. Most of the time, we're talking to ourselves.
Yeah, right.
That's all right.
Yeah, we post the old ones up on YouTube as well. So if you go to Pete's House of Code on YouTube, you can catch the older ones. Although they're not as interesting because we didn't have you to talk to. But
Yeah.
but if you want to see how the projects go, and then we do some. We also do like a more kids oriented one on the weekend where we do snap code. So if you're not doing nothing on Saturday mornings, you can check us out. Right now we're building Atari Adventure in Snap. So
Yep. That one's pretty cool.
that is pretty cool. That one gets a lot of viewership because it's easy to follow. And our programming friends like to make fun of us for doing stuff in Snap during.
It is pretty funny.
You get Jim on there to heckle us a little bit, you know.
He's just jealous. He's just jealous.
He's just
That's what it
jealous,
comes
right?
down
He
to.
wishes he could code in Snap.
He does. All right. Yeah, that's looking good actually. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
Snap's it's like a block language. I don't know if you've heard of Scratch. It's very similar. Here, I'll throw a link in. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
I'll throw it in there.
Yeah. Well, we only have like a couple of minutes left here. I can even open up the project.
Yeah, right. Yeah, what the hey?
Come on. If it'll. Oh, you know what? My computer's like maxed out. Let me close this. Let's see if it'll come up even. It's still opening. My browsers.
Yeah, well, Snap can be like that sometimes. But you know what?
Yeah. So here we go. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Whoa! What is going on? Ah! I don't know what's happening there, but that was a little out of control. Let's see if this will open up any better.
I throw a link to our YouTube channel up there too. I feel like it's on here somewhere, but I don't know.
Yeah,
now it's in the chat.
yeah, I thought it was as well. Yeah, right. Oh yeah, look, way fast. That was. It's almost like the map didn't load.
Yeah, so I don't know if you played old Atari, but this was like one of the first adventure games that was on the Atari. I guess the 2600. The original Atari.
Yeah.
Came out in what 79, I think. We said in the first episode when we did the research. So this is like a clone of a game from 1979. It was one of the first games that stuff happened off screen because we haven't added it to ours yet, but there was a bat that flew around and moved items on you. So kind of neat.
Yeah. Yeah. Forgot we just got the maze in there. So I think next we'll be getting the Black Castle all done. We'll actually be able to turn that stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the way it works, right? So you see that you have all your sprites down here that you can work with, and so you can So for example, for us, we select the adventure, and then it'll show your scripts in here, which is basically just drag and drop. And so you just drop these blocks in, and you can put the stuff that you actually want to have it happen, right? But a lot of this is analogous to what the programming language would look like. So if you were to kind of look at this, you could read it and then write it in an actual code as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
Yes. Yeah, I think we determine that underneath it's JavaScript that actually ends up getting executed.
yeah. Basically, it's just because JavaScript is dynamic, so it can just write dynamic code and execute it. But yeah, so you get to do a lot of the similar stuff that you would do in any kind of programming languages, and it's a very good way of being able to learn how to do procedural programming. So
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I hope so. We're trying. We own a school, so we're trying to do that. Have a generation of geniuses.
Yep. But it is now 8:30, Pete. I do need to get some sleep. Splitfire, it has been awesome chatting with you. Thanks so much for joining us, and everyone else out there that joined us. Thank you so much. And yeah.
Maybe we'll see you Friday. If not, we'll see you next week.
That sounds great. All right, Pete. Have a good night.
All right, John. You too, buddy. Good night, everybody.